I've heard that this series has a lot of gore, and I was kind of disappointed for the first movie. I should have expected it because a lot of series usually get gorier as they go on, like Saw. Because the first Saw movie really isn't that bad. Um, but yeah, I fully went into this expecting to see brutal kills throughout, and a decent amount of them were off screen kills. Um, the movie starts off with this dude who's just a dick to his girlfriend. She yells for help, and he's like, "Oh, we're like 50 miles out here. Who are you yelling for help for?" And she's like, "You." And then he just fucking leaves her. Then he gets killed. Funnily enough, his name is Dick Richard. So funny. Um, he gets killed. Blood drips to her face, and then he gets yeeted off the mountain when he's already dead. And that shot was honestly pretty cool. She ends up falling, and then she gets dragged off screen. Kind of a lame opening, was definitely disappointed. Then the next kill, a guy's ear gets cut off screen, and it just shows the ear, so he's dead. Later, he falls out of the truck. Um, then the other girl gets kidnapped too. There is surprisingly no nudity, even though they had a chance to, because she literally decides to give him a head out in public. But they don't show any nudity in this movie, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do in the sequels. Um, this one, they do this thing a lot that kinda annoyed me, where they'll do one thing and then the second time it's dangerous. Where he has a disc fall out and he reaches to get it. You think he's gonna crash, but he doesn't. He sees a deer dead on the road, so he looks back, and now he crashes. They do this whole plan to get a truck, and honestly, I thought the whole time, well, it's gonna be the horror cliche where the killer has the key, so they can't use the truck. But the killers don't have the keys; they're able to use the truck. But the second time, he's got to use the police car, but the killer has the key, so he can't use the cop car. It's just such cliche shit, and they use it the second time as if it's going to be surprising now, but it really isn't. Um, I really liked the two main characters. They really worked well together. Um, was definitely surprised that they both survived. With the way this series is talked about, I figured that they both would have been killed by the cannibals and had no survivors. But two people survive. There's this guy that fucking drinks Pepto Bismol, is I'm assuming is what it is, because it's pink. I don't know other drinks that are pink. Very weird thing to drink. Um, there's two somewhat memorable kills where this guy he somewhat stops walking, and you're like, what the fuck? Why'd he stop? Is he trying to get killed? And then he gets hit with an arrow and another arrow and dies, and it reveals there's 3 arrows in his back. So he had got hit with one of the arrows, and that's why he was starting to stop. Really creative, cool kill. And then I didn't like the fact that they had established that this girl had a fear of heights, and then did like nothing with it besides like a throwaway line where he's teasing her, act like he's gonna jump off something so she can conquer her fear of heights, and she gets mad at him for it. Well, later they're climbing a fucking watchtower, and she's just fine with it. The throwaway line that I mentioned was her friend Jess asked her if she's okay, and then that's it. They keep climbing. That's how they get rid of the whole fucking heights thing. And then she literally jumps out of the watchtower into a tree later. Don't know why they established something like fear of heights when they're gonna do that shit. Um, of course, she ends up getting killed, and a pretty brutal kill, where she gets her head somewhat cut off, and then her body falls out of the trees. Really memorable kill. Unfortunately, I have seen that kill before. Because it's something people post online all the time. Eventually, they blow up the cabin. It only kills 2 of them because Three Fingers survives. And sometimes he's just annoying. Sometimes I think his character really works. But more often than not, I don't like all the weird noises he makes. It's just kind of annoying to me. There's also a post-credit scene where Three Fingers kills another cop, which I doubt this was the first movie to do it, because I'm pretty sure one of the older Freddy Krueger movies had a fucking post-credit scene, but I did not expect it in a 2003 movie. It definitely became more of a thing in the 2010s. But yeah, it's a pretty solid start to the series. I hope the sequel is better though.